Hi, my name is Tobias Goebel. I'm the Director of Emerging Technologies at Aspect. I would like to show you Aspect CXP, our customer experience platform. In particular, I'd like to walk you through the process of building out a multi-channel app from scratch. I'll start building a mobile web app, and I will then add an interactive voice and then an interactive text component to that same app, all within about 15 minutes time. Alright, so let's get started. What you see here is CXP Developer, our service creation environment in which you essentially build out your application flow. It is a plugin into the well-known Eclipse framework. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new project here on the left-hand side in the repository browser. Right-click on Project, select New, and I'm going to call this project Demo. Finish it. It'll show up here on the left-hand side, and I can double-click to essentially open this project. What you see now is a list of kind of predefined objects that will ultimately constitute your application. Right now it's a pretty small list of pre-configured objects, so it's essentially an empty object browser that you see here. I'm going to start by creating a module that will act as the container of our application. Module objects in Voxeo CXP are essentially containers for subflows, for sub-applications. The application that we're going to build here is going to ask the user for their account number and then lead them to a main menu of several options. This is supposed to become a banking portal later, so I will basically mock up some of the options just to kind of give you an idea of how this will look eventually as a mobile app. So to start off, I will create a new module. I will give this object a name. Let me call it Start in this case, and save and close this object right away so that I can switch over and look at this object in the so-called dialog view, which is a graphical representation of your flow. Now, what I will do is I will start off building a web application. So what I want to do is I want to put the GUI here in the web mode, which essentially means that it will hide anything that is not related to web development, so anything for IVR and interactive text applications. I will do that later. I will add that functionally after building out the web flow. So let me focus, let me change the view here, and from now on I will only see fields and objects and labels that are relevant to building out a web application, a mobile web application essentially. So the first thing I'm going to do is create an input object. I'm going to drag this, put it here in the sequence. The input object will ask the user for their account number. As you can see here, the input consists of three main sections: the page content top, some input elements, and the page content bottom. So this will ultimately constitute your mobile web page. I will call this get account number. As page content top, I can define some HTML. I can enter some text, so this can be, full markup that will ultimately be rendered at the top of your page. So I will create a little H1 tag here and say welcome. In addition, I need to define my input elements. So in this case, I want to capture an account number. So I'm going to call this ac number, and I need to link a variable in this field which would ultimately hold the value of my account number. So I'm creating a new variable, calling that also account number, closing out the variable, so now it is linked here in the variable field. For this input element, I want to use a widget. So the input object provides an embedded widget object through which I can now select essentially what type of input this would be. Now I want this to be a text input, but as data type I want this to be a number, so that on a mobile phone the display would essentially open up a keyboard, the numeric keyboard, for entering numbers. As you see, as I changed the data type, some other fields here showed up. So I can now give this a label. I can give this a tooltip. What I will do is basically use a placeholder which will be embedded in the resulting text field. So as the placeholder, I will say enter your 8-digit account number. I can obviously also provide some validation patterns here. I will skip those steps, but I will make it a required value. Okay, I will not need any content at the page bottom, so I will skip this one. So I have defined my page content top my input elements. Now what I could do is essentially also add something like please provide your account number. Basically a message that will guide the user as to what to enter in this field. So now I have my step get account number. As a next step, I want to create a menu of choices. I will skip the backend validation here for the purposes of the demo. So let me add a menu object, and I'm going to call this main menu. Again, I have my page content top, then menu items, and my page content bottom. As page content top, what I will do is I will define, again, a heading here for main menu. And my items are going to be essentially balance inquiry. So I'm going to create a stub module here for this piece. Call it balance information. What I will do is I will create an output object that basically says under construction, just so that we have something here if the user picks that value. I will call it under construction. As my content for the page, I will also use the words under construction. Okay, that will save my balance information module. How do I want to present this menu option on the screen? I need to define a menu item output. So I will type in something like balance info or balance information. This will become the label of the button that the user can press later on. I might want an icon for this, so I can, for example, use the forward icon and position this on the right side. All right, I will create another item. This will become a money transfer. Again, I will create a dummy module for money transfer, just basically so that I have somewhere to go. I will reuse the under construction output that I defined in the previous step. So I put that here, save it, and I will give this a name, money transfer. Let me add one more just for the sake of it, for product information. Again, I'll create a stop module, product information, and I will link the same under construction output. And I will give this product information as my label. Okay, so now we have a main menu with 3 items, and that will essentially be my application for now. So what do I have to do to deploy this? Well, all I have to do is right-click my root module, select deploy application and new service. So I will actually go ahead and deploy this as a demo service. So as you can see now here in the bottom right corner, it says deploying to service demo. This will actually put it on a application server, on CXP server, that we have available here in our labs, which also means I can hook this up with essentially a phone number using Evolution, which is our customer portal for our IVR and text applications, and I will go ahead and do that. After logging into evolution.voxeo.com, I arrive at the overview page, and in here I will click Application Manager, which allows me to add a new application on our hosting side, which ultimately will allow me to add a new phone number for my application. So I will give this application a name. I will call it Demo, and since we want this to be a voice and a text application, I will select both here. I will select a platform in which to run this, Premium ASR and TTS, and ultimately provide the URL that points to the server that I have available here. So let me just configure this for my voice application as well as for my SMS application. I do want a phone number so I can test, so let me pick one of these. Let's see, maybe I'll pick a Orlando-based phone number, 321. So I can select this. This is a free service that we have for developers and for customers that want to, build and evaluate applications. So I will just go ahead and create that application, which will ultimately provide a phone number for me. It will take a couple of minutes to propagate through our network. So even though I already see the phone number that I will have 321-239-1510, I will go ahead and first show you the demo of this application as a web application. Remember, this is what I promised you earlier. Now I have two ways to demo a web application. I can use the built-in phone simulator, so let me go ahead and do that. We'll start the session and it will come with a simulated phone screen, and as you can see here we have our headline, welcome, please provide your account number. We have the placeholder here so I can type in my number, hit OK, and I arrive at the main menu. You will see we forgot to configure icons for the second and third item. So if I select one of these, we will arrive at our under construction step. So this is very basic, of course, so now you could go ahead and add some cascading style sheets, add a jQuery mobile theme roller, because this is what we essentially use as a framework, jQuery mobile underneath. But you get the idea. So this is a fully functional mobile web app that we build using our graphical drag and drop environment here. The second way I can test my application is through the use of one of the simulators that come with the respective operating systems. So for instance, on my laptop I have the iOS simulator so that I can test my application and demonstrate my application through a simulation of the iPhone. So let me go to Safari and actually enter the URL that points to my particular server here, my particular application. And by doing that, I will see the first page. So welcome, please provide your account number. Now before actually doing this, let me add this application to my home screen so that it appears as an actual native application almost. So I will have an icon on my home screen, and if I launch it from here, it will come up without the URL bar, without the navigation bar, so I can pretty much interact with this as if it was an actual native application. So here's my main menu. I can enter the options, etc. So it works pretty well. Also, keep in mind that we also offer a QR code down here. So if you have a phone, you can essentially take a picture of this, and if the phone is in the same network as your computer, you can then try this application on your real phone. Now, to call this application as an IVR application, I will actually have to make a few more configurations here on our objects to configure some grammars for IVR, etc. So to do that, I will switch the view from the web view over to the all view essentially. So I want to now configure all the different channels at the same time. The view here will refresh, and now if I open an object, I will see a couple more settings, more than I had seen before, and some of the sections have already also been renamed to accommodate the other channels. So what we do see here is our initial request, please provide your account number. Now this was tagged with channel web. I want to create another item here for the text channel. So I want to create a channel text, and the message here would be, please send your 8-digit account number. In the voice channel, I want to announce something like, please say or enter your 8-digit account number. So I'm going to create a third item, tag that with channel voice, and enter the prompt. Please say or enter your 8-digit account number. Now what I might want to do in addition for the voice channel is play a greeting at the beginning. This is something that you don't necessarily have to do in the visual channels. I will do that as an extra step in front of the input object in a second. Let me just configure the grammar here, which I will require for the voice channel. So in voice, I will go ahead and we'll use the digits grammar, which is the built-in grammar from my IVR platform. Set type to built-in, and I will do the same for DTMF so that caller can then also use touchtone input. In addition, I will create a grammar for the text channel that will essentially be a so-called regular expression, which I can use to further restrict the input. So in this case, I want 0 to 9 8 times, and that is my regular expression. Okay, the result handling, the variable here, will stay the same, account number, in both the voice and the text channel. That's all I had to do here for main menu. Now let me go ahead and actually make sure that all the announcements here are correct. So for menu item output, I want to use the same balance information output for my voice and my text channel. So I will basically set channel to default so that it will be used regardless of the channel. So let me make that change on the 2 remaining items. Product info, the same thing. Menu item output, I want this to be used whatever the channel is. And I will create some auto numbering here so I get DTMF tones assigned. Alright. Now I did want to add a step for the greetings, so I will create an output object, greet caller. But I will make this, welcome to Smart Bank. I will make this dependent on the channel. So I will actually create a precondition for this to say that only process this if channel equals voice. So that will be my argument here. In that case, if at runtime this session is a web session or an interactive text session, this step would be skipped. Okay, now let me redeploy my application. Again, deploy demo. And now I'm ready to give this a try under the phone number that I have configured. Alright, so let me go ahead and dial that number. It's going to be 321-239-1510. And I'm going to put it on speakerphone so you can hear it.
Please say or enter your 8-digit account number.
I'm going to use touch tone here to enter that.
Main menu. Balance information. Money transfer. Product information.
Money transfer.
Under construction. Main
All right,
menu.
perfect. That's exactly
Balance
how we
information.
programmed it.
Money
Okay,
transfer.
great.
Product information.
So let's give SMS a try. I have the same number here, and I'm going to start by sending an initial message to kick off the conversation. So I'm going to send hi, and I should get back immediately the first prompt of the application, which is the account number question. There it is. Please send your 8-digit account number. So I'm going to enter some random 8 digits here to progress the dialogue, and next I should get the main menu with my 3 options. There it is. Perfect. I hope you liked what you saw. If you want to give it a try yourself, go to voxeo.com/free, where you can download all of our products for free for evaluation. Thank you and goodbye.